Samsung launched the Galaxy Note 7 to record pre-sales and sales in August, but the rosy start soon turned sour. Samsung had to initiate a recall in September of the first version of the Note 7 due to faulty batteries that overheated and exploded. By October, it had to recall over 2 million devices and discontinue the product. It's estimated that the recall will cost Samsung $5.3 billion. In a report released later, the company detailed flaws in battery design and manufacturing that it believes caused the crisis. Let's look at the crisis in more detail and how it could have been mitigated better. The start of Samsung product recall. The Galaxy Note 7 was Samsung's most sophisticated phone ever, and many industry experts predicted that it would challenge Apple's dominance over the market. The phone maker was battling its biggest ever brand crisis after defective Galaxy Note 7 smartphones began exploding around the world. A battery malfunction was threatening to permanently damage both its business and its reputation. Its mobile sales were down 15% by October 2016. Overnight, they became a cultural meme and a daily announcement on every flight. On research, they found that batteries from 2 different manufacturers had flaws. When disaster struck, Samsung knew that it had to be proactive and take responsibility. Samsung started with rebuilding trust with consumers when it revealed the root cause of the explosions at a press conference in January and outlined new and enhanced safety measures to prevent future occurrences. Understanding the Samsung product recall. When it was first reported that the Note 7s were exploding, Samsung responded quickly on all fronts. It immediately made public statements about the news and issued a global recall of the phones within weeks. Communicating swiftly and often with key audiences is the cornerstone of any crisis response, and Samsung nailed this. By immediately taking action, the company showed its key audiences that it was taking the situation seriously. However, it's critical that the information a company shares about the situation is accurate. This is where Samsung went wrong. The brand sought to break away from its immensely fragmented brand identity, which lacked warmth and humanity, and instead inspire purpose beyond just its bottom line. It tapped into its inherent DNA of relentless innovation, crystallizing that into a bigger brand purpose encapsulated in the tagline, "Do what you can't." The effect of Samsung product recall. The company acted too quickly, and many of its initial statements had to be retracted. Samsung initially said that Hong Kong customers' phones were not at risk of exploding, only to take it back the next day when it discovered that phones sold in Hong Kong were in fact affected. Then the company based its explanation for the cause of the explosions on incomplete evidence. Samsung confidently stated that the phone's battery was the cause of the explosions and rushed to produce 2.5 million replacement phones. This resulted in a second and arguably worse crisis. The replacement phones started exploding too. Samsung finally conceded that it didn't know the cause of the explosions and was forced to discontinue the Note 7 altogether. By providing inaccurate information and acting too quickly, Samsung lost the trust of its customers and investors and stands to lose millions of dollars in revenue. Its stock took a nosedive in mid-September, plunging 7% in one day. News and comments surrounding the recall has been shared over 700,000 times across social media, versus just 198,000 shares that Samsung received for just the initial launch of the Note 7 before the crisis began. It seems the brand was able to boost awareness with consumers, but in the worst possible way. Let's evaluate the Fire Festival, which is amongst the most well-known PR strategies gone wrong.